Hi, it's Chef Rick, and today I'm making prawn gyoza. Okay, so the first thing there is we're going to make a dipping sauce, and that's going to be first of all a garlic clove, which we'll top and tail and just peel, and a red chilli, which we're going to just take the top off, keep all the seeds in, and I'm going to try and chop these into a paste. So the first way to do that is to get some nice chunks to work with. So you can see at this point I'm just chopping the chili into kind of rough chunks with the seeds included, and I'm going to do the same with the garlic. So I'm just chopping that garlic into 3 or 4 pieces, putting it with the chili, adding some fresh sea salt on there, some salt flakes, and like you've seen us do in 100 videos, just keep chopping through these left and right, back and forth. There's no special technique, it's just time and effort. So all you do is just work across, keep bringing everything back into the middle of the chopping board, the area that you're working on. Obviously, the more you do it and the longer you do it for, each of the pieces of chili and garlic get smaller and smaller and smaller, so become easier and easier to chop, but they will stick to the knife, and you will kind of spread them out a bit. So just keep working it left and right, left and right, left and right, like that, back and forth, until in the end you're going to be left with an absolutely beautiful chili and garlic kind of paste. There you go. So that's so finely chopped. Like I say, it's become a paste there. So we're going to add some rice wine vinegar to a saucepan on a low heat and some white sugar. And we're just going to heat that until it's all combined. So that shouldn't take long. You don't want to bring it to the boil. You just want to make sure that the vinegar and the sugar is all combined. There you go. So we take that away, we let that cool first of all, and now into a container of your choice. The best one I could use here was a mason jar. Use some soy sauce. There was the vinegar and sugar mixture, which is now cooled. Our chili, garlic and salt paste. And a little bit of sesame oil. And there you go. That's going to be our dipping sauce later on for our gyoza. Put that in the fridge and use it for basically everything for the next 2 weeks of your life, I promise. This didn't work in a blender, but I would say in a food processor. Used cooked prawns, chopped spring onions and water chestnuts, a can of water chestnuts. Now the blender wasn't working, so I put them on a chopping board and I've just chopped into them like this, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This is just going to be a little bit of texture. It's the prawn flavour. You're not looking for a big bright prawn colour there. You can see there's prawns in there, but it's more going to be a texture and a flavour. Now we're going to make the dumpling containers, the wraps for the gyoza. So we're going to sieve some plain flour. And we're going to take some boiling water and add salt, just to make salt water. Of course, you can see as we mix it here that it's all combined. So we have a hot salt water, which we're going to add to the plain flour. Bit by bit, but the whole thing's going to be incorporated. As I said earlier on, that all quantities and descriptions will be down in the description below. Mix that round, make sure it's combined. Add the rest of the water. And that's probably the simplest, most straightforward kind of dough that you could make. And what we're going to do is just using our hands, kind of bring it together. It's really, really easy this. It's just going to take a bit of time and effort. All you're doing is taking the dough, moving it around the outside of the bowl, making sure that all of that flour is sticking to it and it's all incorporated. You can see how it's all coming away from the edges now. See, the more you work it, the smoother it starts to look and the more comes away from the outside of the bowl. So now it's all combined in one ball. We're going to knead it on a work surface. Kneading something is literally where we'll stretch it, fold it over itself and push down. So you go fold it, push it, fold it, push it, fold it, push it. Simple as that. The trick is this. We can't speed up real life. You know, this is, you just got to take time doing this. Back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. And you keep feeling the texture of dough. No matter what dough it is that you're working with, you keep feeling the texture change. Now this one gets firmer and firmer and firmer. So it gets harder and harder to roll. That's what you're going to notice. You're going to notice the shine on the outside and the firmness of it as you're making it. But yeah, this is what you do. And that's what we're going to be left with. Really shiny, really smooth, really, really beautiful. I would just wrap that in cling film and pop it in a fridge for at least half an hour, just to let it calm down a little bit. You have just been massaging it for God knows how long. Once you're done, tear off a block of it. This is when you're ready to go, and roll it in corn flour. That's corn flour there, and roll it as thin as you can get it. This isn't going to break. It's not, even if you were a mega muscle man and you could roll this as thin as pasta, well, that's fantastic. But basically, roll this as thin as you can get it, and now you're going to cut out your individual discs using whatever tool you've got there. Whether you want to use a mug, if you've not got a cutter. There's all the discs ready to go, ready to be loaded with the filling. So what you do is take a disc, put some of your beautiful prawn spinach mixture in the middle, just wet the outside slightly, and just like we did on the Cornish pasty video, fold it over itself. It will stick together really nicely because you've wet the edge. Don't overfill them, there's simply no need to do it. Make a bit of a pleat or any sort of fold that you like over itself there, over the join, so they stay together. And there you go, you've basically made a gyoza there. There's one. Now here we go. So in a frying pan on a medium heat, medium to high, depending on your oven, but you don't want this to be smoking hot. You just put some extra virgin olive oil in there and let that cover the outside of the pan, to which we're now going to add all of our gyozas. Don't overcrowd the pan, but you can see here, you know, as many as I fit in. Can you see how my concentration's kind of waved as I've been making them? Look at the first one's perfect. The ones towards the end is absolutely massive. I was starving at this point. It's up to you how consistent you want to be. Once they've had around about 10 minutes browning on one side, just turn them over so they can brown on the other side as well. They get that absolutely gorgeous colour on them. And now we're just going to add some water to the pan. So they've had about 10 minutes on each side. Put a lid on and allow them to steam for probably around about 5 minutes. Move them around just so they've got some, so they don't catch and burn on the bottom of the pan. But that steam is going to add some plumpness. It's going to make them soft. It's going to make them delicious. serve up the dipping sauce in the nicest bowl that you've got. I arranged them on a plate like this, and that basically is prawn gyoza with an absolutely beautiful, sweet, spicy dipping sauce. They're amazing, they're Moorish, they're beautiful, they're well worth the effort, and to be honest, it is a lot of effort, but it's worth it. The outside is soft with a bit of crunch to it. The middle has got all the beautiful flavours of the prawn, the spinach, the garlic, the watered chestnut. It's amazing. Everyone's going to be really impressed. Make them yourself at home. I hope you do. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one.